Asia. Match day 3 action from the group stages of the AFC Champions League. And sudden death down under as the A-League final series kicks off. That's on this week's edition of Football Asia. The battle to be the continent's best continued on matchday 3 of the AFC Champions League, with 32 clubs pulling out all stops when they took to the field in the group stages. We start with Group H, where Reysol were 4 points ahead of their nearest rivals, Suwon Blue Wings, while Guizhou and Central Coast were level on a single point each. Reysol chalked up their second win in the competition with a 3-1 home victory over Central Coast Mariners on match day 2. A brace by Leandro Dominguez and a strike by Kenta Kano, earning the J-League side the spoils in Japan. And morale was high in the Reysol camp when they touched down in the Korean Republic for their clash with Suwon Blue Wings. The Blue Wings haven't lost a game, but both their earlier encounters with Central Coast and Guizhou ended goalless, leaving the Korean club in desperate need of goals and their first win. The Suwon World Cup Stadium was the venue for the match between the Blue Wings and Reysol, with the J-League side left to brave their opponents, the chilly weather and the icy reception from the home fans. Commentary from Sid Bala.
Back to Leandro. Leandro's ship effort looking very dangerous indeed. And it is goal number 1 for Kashiwa Reysol. Fantastic play by Leandro to find his man. And it's 1-0 for Kashiwa Reysol. Leandro with the corner. Volley comes in, and it's a goal! Fantastic shot! Drifts just above the keeper there, and it's number 28, Ryoichi Kurisawa. And a close call, and it's end-to-end. Suwon there finding a comeback, it's 2-1. Choi Jae-soo there with the goal for Suwon Blue Wings. That was so quick, we didn't even have time to see it during the replay. Suwon Blue Wings here, finding a bit of light maybe perhaps at the tunnel. Kashiwa here looking dangerous, ball inside the box. Ball on the inside, the shot, and it's 3-1! Absolutely amazing! It is end-to-end stop, Masato adding to his tally. And once again, Kashiwa looking ever so threatening. Leandro's ball finding its man, shot comes in, it is 4-1, and they are looking unstoppable. Stevichar, he's got a chance, he's brought down and it's a penalty. It was a silly mistake by Fujita. Stevichar looking to convert their effort. He does so. Bottom corner, the right side of Sugeno's goal. Kashiwa still threatening. Shot comes in, and it's number 5. Is there no end to the onslaught of Kashiwa Reysol? Ryoichi Kurisawa. And it is number 6. What a fantastic play there. Unbelievably masterful work. Masato, diving header there. And there we have it. This David and Goliath battle is finally over. Kashiwa Reysol finished the game 6-2 against Suwon Blue Wings.
The other Group H match took place down under, with Central Coast playing host to Guizhou Renhe. Both clubs were aiming for their first victory in the contest, and it was the A-League side that displayed their intentions first, with Pej Bojic hitting the target on 50 minutes. Joshua Rose's own goal on 71 minutes put Guizhou back in the game. Till a late effort by Trent Sainsbury saw the Mariners grab all 3 points with a 2-1 scoreline. So, Reysol were the only team in the East to maintain a perfect record after 3 matches, while Central Coast put themselves back in contention for a knockout stage spot with a win over Guizhou that saw the A-League club climb up to second. Over in Group G, Pohang Steelers ran out 1-0 winners at Sanfrecce Hiroshima, while Bunyodkor and Beijing played out a stalemate in Uzbekistan. A tight affair then in Group G, with Bunyodkor, the Steelers and Beijing all level on 5 points. Coming up, Korean clubs run riot on match day 3 in the AFC Champions League. We continue our coverage of match day 3 in the AFC Champions League with action from Group E and F. We start with Group E, where FC Seoul led the way with a 2-point advantage over Vegalta and Buriram, who were tied on points and goal difference. The Seoul club were undefeated in the contest and were eager to keep it that way when they played host to Vegalta Sendai at the Seoul World Cup Stadium. Glenn Mascarenas takes us through the highlights.
The usual suspect, Kim Yong-dae, is on the bench, and so looking for the first attack, and they find a way through. Sergio Escudero has just made it 1-0 FC Seoul. He can't believe it. Well, it's just knocking one in for his club currently, and FC Seoul have got the lead here. Kim Jin-gyu, what can he do? That's the second goal, slips right through the fingers of Hayashi. Oh, that's got to be a pleasant surprise for FC Seoul. It's 2-0 now, an unexpected goal. Hayashi was on top of things, still he let that ball slip through. 2-0 FC Seoul. Chance here for Vegalta Sendai. Wilson appealing for a penalty. Yu Sung-hoon. And that's knocked straight in. It's now 2-1. Wilson becomes the second Vegalta player to score in the 2013. Full time. The Seoul World Cup Stadium will hold a memory for FC Seoul as they pull off a victory. They did hold on to it at the end. Final score here in Seoul, it's FC Seoul 2, Vegalta Sendai 1.
Over in China, Jiangsu Sainty saw off Thailand's Buriram United to register their first ever win in the Continental Tournament. So FC Seoul stayed ahead of the chasing pack for another match day, with Jiangsu leapfrogging Vegalta and Buriram to take second spot. Now to Group F for the match between Urawa Reds and travelling side Jeonbuk Motors. The Reds bounced back from a defeat at the hands of Guangzhou Evergrande on match day 1, with a 4-1 hammering of Guangdong United on match day 2. The J-League outfit were keen on extending that form to the clash with Jeonbuk, a team that was also hungry for a win after they dropped points on match day 2, following a draw with Guangzhou Evergrande. Only 3 points separated the 4 rivals in Group F, with Guangzhou leading the way on 4 points. Over 22,000 turned up for the much-awaited battle between the Saitama Giants and the K-Leaguers. One of them, our commentator, Shazad Haq.
We did say that the Urawa Reds are an offensive team, and so are Jeonbuk Motors by tradition. It's a brilliant individual effort, And this is the man we were talking about, Genki Haraguchi. He did it all on his own, weaving his way through that defence, and that is a brilliant goal. Oh, what a goal! From outside the box, bending it in, Seung-gi equalises completely out of nothing, and Jeonbuk Motors are right back in this game. Open header, and would they believe it, they've taken the lead, and who else but Lee Dong-guk? We call him a talismanic player, and he's certainly made the difference here. What a goal! Everyone to stop for a second there, but El Nino has got the third, and that surely is it now. Embarrassing for Nobuhiro Kato. Some time for revenge perhaps, but for now, this man has sparked a great fight back for Jeonbuk Motors. The final score here at the Saitama Stadium, it's Urawa Reds 1, Jeonbuk Motors 3.
In the other Group F encounter, Guangzhou Evergrande made it 3 in a row with a 4-0 hammering of Muangthong United. A brace by Dario Conca and goals by Murichi and Gao Lin, confirming all 3 points for the Chinese champions. So Jeonbuk Hyundai pulled 2 points closer to group leaders Guangzhou Evergrande, who were on 7. The clubs play their return encounters on match day 4, with Muangthong hosting Guangzhou next, while the Reds hit the road for their match with Jeonbuk Motors. For more information, visit the official AFC website, and you can see match highlights from across Asia on the official YouTube AFC Champions League page. Coming up, we head to the west for more action from match day 3 of the AFC Champions League. Over to the west now, where Al Hilal and visitors Esteghlal renewed a decade-old rivalry in Riyadh. The clubs last met in the group stage of the inaugural AFC Champions League season, with the Saudi club emerging 3-2 winners. And Esteghlal were eager to avoid that outcome here. The Iranian club were a single point ahead of their Saudi rivals after Samuel and Majidi hit the target for their club in a 2-0 triumph over Al Ain. While Al Hilal bounced back from a defeat at the hands of Al Ain to see off Al Rayyan 3-1 at home. A hat-trick by Yasser Al-Qahtani and a strike by Mohammed Al-Shaloub ensuring the win. So both clubs went into the match on the back of good form, and the 11,000 plus fans that turned up were witness to a tough battle on the field. Glenn Mascarenhas was there for us.
Oh, that's put wide. It's another chance here for Esteghlal. Well, almost a chance here, but that's slammed past the right post. It's Musawi. It's Wesley. Manages to knock that over. Al-Sharani. And that's the first strike for Al Hilal. They finally make it through. Salim Mohammed Al-Dawsari bringing it on. To tell you the meaning of Esteghlal, which means independence in Persian, and that's the equaliser. What a way to go! Baseman Montazeri using his head perfectly to knock that in. That's the second there's reason to celebrate here. We are minutes away from the finish, and Esteghlal have definitely got a good thing going on. Final score, it's Al Hilal 1, Esteghlal 2.
Elsewhere, Al Ayn's 2-1 triumph over Qatar's Al Rayyan meant that positions on the Group D table remained unchanged after match day 3, with Esteghlal leading the way a single point ahead of Al Ain. In Group A, home wins for Al Shabab and El Jaish saw the Saudi club replace Tractor Sanzi at the summit, while El Jaish swapped places with Al Jazeera in third. Over in Group B, Qatar's Lequia claimed group leadership after a 3-1 victory over visitors Paktikor, while a single goal in the UAE saw Al Shabab grab maximum points, much to the dismay of Saudi's Al Ettifaq. Victories on the road for Saudi's Al Ahly and Qatar's Al Gharafa saw the two clubs finish first and second respectively in Group C. Al Ahly are one of only 2 teams with a perfect record after 3 wins and a 9-point tally in the competition, the other being Japan's Kashiwa Reysol. Coming up, the A-League Elimination Finals get underway down under. 6 of the best. Sudden death. The A-League enters the final series, with the top 6 teams vying for the championship. The Western Sydney Wanderers, Central Coast Mariners, Melbourne Victory, Adelaide United, Brisbane Roar, Perth Glory. 5 matches, winner takes all. Who will survive to claim the A-League Championship? Western Sydney Wanderers finished the regular season by claiming the premiership ahead of the Central Coast Mariners. The top 2 automatically qualify for the semi-finals. It's do or die for the rest. Who will be left standing? First up, third place Melbourne Victory take on season-less Perth Glory. The winner will face the Mariners for place in the grand final. Let's go to the action at Etihad Stadium in Melbourne with Brenton Speed and Robbie Slater.
To the Glory down that left-hand side.
They look really sharp, the Glory players, shifting the ball well.
It's great delivery there, and chested home for the opener. Rio Nagai on target. Who saw that coming? It's the Glory who strike inside 15 minutes.
Well, it's brilliant play from Scott Jamieson. Great ball from Jamieson. Doesn't try to beat Guerrier. And look at that, adjusts his body.
Jake Markadash. Very nearly a winner too. Here's Roas teeing up Broxton! And he slices his shot wide. Goal kick given. Lee Broxton doesn't score too many. Counter-attack on here. Advantage played to the Glory. It's a really good advantage too, particularly if this finds Shane Smeltz. The Kiwi is on here. Shane Smeltz this way and that. What a save from Coe in the end. Shane Smeltz thought he'd done enough.
Well, it's a brilliant save from Coe.
At the moment, Glory look every chance to settle it inside 90 minutes, and Jamieson goes down and it's a penalty. Perth Glory are going to have the chance to wrap this one up surely from the spot. Mark Milligan cannot believe the decision.
He doesn't really have this ball under complete control. He gets it stuck between his feet, but Milligan jumps in. It's a penalty.
But the regular penalty taker is back. 17 from 20 from the spot in his A-League career. Shane Smeltz back off the bar, and the Victory are still alive.
Oh, will that give them some momentum now?
Now Flores So it goes from bad to worse for the Perth Glory.
Well, the header from Flores comes back in and Mabu does well. Catches that on his chest. Is there a little bit of arm? And then Panelides, he doesn't need to get that close to him.
And the crowd around Etihad Stadium, everyone on their feet, ready to cheer on Mark Milligan. And he converts! What a turnaround in this final! You could not make it up! Melbourne victory level in stoppage time! And the referee blows it up. But what a crescendo! And we're bound for extra time. Trying to drop it over. Rojas is onside. Thompson waits in the middle. Archie Thompson! They've done it again! Rojas and Thompson in extra time. Victory in front.
Clearly onside, then he's got too much pace and it gets away. Perfect ball to Archie Thompson.
Whistles all around Etihad Stadium. A final hope. Thwaite back across. Man down. And the full-time whistle goes. The Melbourne victory. Full-time after extra time. Melbourne victory 2. Perth Glory 1.
So our second match now. Adelaide United hosted the reigning A-League champions Brisbane Roar at the Homebush Stadium. Commentary comes from Simon Hill and Andy Harper.
Let's see if Broich can get this delivery right. Different side. This will be the in-swinger. In fact, he floats it beautifully towards Bratton. Oh, that's a really good goal by Luke Bratton. His first in the A-League, and he caught it so sweetly from Broich's delivery. Brisbane lead.
Bratton, from this point on in his career, he's got beautiful technique. He hit that so sweetly.
Fourth, John McCain to get it out of harm's way for the Reds. Nichols gets clear of Malik and McCain. Time and space to deliver the cross, and there's Fredich, and it's 2-0 for Brisbane. And they may just be on their way to a meeting with the Western Sydney Wanderers. Ivan Fredich, his second goal in a week. Disaster for Adelaide United. It's a long way back from here. They've barely looked back since that. You remember Mike Mulvey was appointed on the back of that, almost to ridicule.
Yeah, true.
Now maybe a chance here for Vidicic. They do have one back. Grand Slam finale in prospect. Hang on to your hats. 2-1.
And a second goal of 2013 for Dario Vidicic, and a first for him.
Up into the night sky, but Stefanuto wins an important header. Cal's returning it as quickly as he can, but it's too late. It is all over. Brisbane Roar have seen off the challenge. A late flurry from the Reds. It's finished here at Highmarsh Stadium. Adelaide United 1, Brisbane Roar 2.
Here's a look at the semi-final matchups. Defending A-League champions Brisbane travel to the home of the new premiers, the Western Sydney Wanderers, while Central Coast will entertain Melbourne Victory. The winners advance to the grand final on April 21. Next week, all the action from East and West in Matchday 4 of the AFC Champions League. And the Final Four prepare for battle in the A-League Finals Series. Join us then on Football Asia.